Mike Knoxxx. Best damn show on the radio. You don't like it? Keep listening.
Welcome back, everybody, to Around the Block with Mike Knoxxx. People, happy New Year's, happy Kwanzaa, whatever it is you're into, as long as it's about the man above. People, listen, welcome back to the last edition of the Monday Night Review for the 2013 season. Yes, I know I've only given you 4 this year because it just started in December. But the fact of the matter is, I gave you just a little bit more than what the rest of the internet community was giving you when it comes to professional wrestling. People, I am the host. I just said it to you before in case you didn't catch it again. It's Mike Knoxxx. I spell it with 3 X's because like the wrestling that IWC wants to hate on, I too am hardcore. People, listen, Monday Night Raw ended on a great, and I mean a great note for that entire roster. People, well, the entire roster? No tag team action on Monday Night Raw, but that's okay. I go back a little bit and rewind and catch you why it was great, people. It opened up simply with CM Punk. You see, Chicago made CM Punk like Chicago made Mike Knoxxx. It could not open up any better. Punk coming on telling you why he had such a great year, having the longest title run in the last 25 years in the WWE, going to WrestleMania to take on The Undertaker. The job was not done, but overall, Punk did have a great year. Why did Punk have a great year? Because him, and somebody we'll name again later, did what other superstars before them were not doing. And that's put over fresh, young talent. And no fresher young talent has there been this year. We talked about it on Perfect Plex Talk Radio on the BDSR network. That's right, you know what's coming. Cheap pop, but actually, I pay for it, so it's not too cheap, but a pop nevertheless. But again, he works with the Shield, if you will, so to speak, and the Shield come out and listen. Can you have a better foursome than the Shield and CM Punk? Punk does what Punk does best, and that's get on the microphone and decides and tries to interact, try to infect, if you will, using the words of Vinnie Mac himself, infect the Shield. He goes into their heads. He tells them, I want to take on the best. Dean Ambrose steps forward, because I am a Dean Ambrose guy. He steps forward and says, hold on, I'm the best, Punk, let's go. Punk says, come on, man. I beat you a dozen times all over this country. I want to take on the best. Then Seth Rollins steps up. Seth Rollins, CM Punk says, hold on, you're not the best. Roman Reigns is the best because the internet community and the WWE universe says he is the best. Then all of a sudden they discuss it out. He says, come on, man. Roman Reigns, that is, says, come on, Seth. He's doing what we want. He wants us to do and break us up. He goes, no, but I got this. I got this. They go into a match, and a great opening match, may I add. Anytime there's a match on Raw that goes to 2 commercial breaks and comes back after they open up with promos and end the ring when the show starts off, that's a good freaking match. They gave you a great match. Winner, of course, the Shield tries to interfere to get Seth Rollins to win. Well, let me rephrase that. Let me rewind that. Let me bring it back to you to what exactly happened in that match. Dean Ambrose tries to interfere to help Seth Rollins in that match. Roman Reigns doesn't like it too much. Now, I'm just going to talk about the Shield for a second, as they had the greatest year in 2013, in my opinion. Don't break these guys up. I know that these people out here, you know who you are, wants to break up the Shield, but why? Everybody's tired of everything. This society we live in called the microwave society, it's enough. It doesn't involve in pro wrestling. For any wrestling historian out there, and this goes out to you, especially you, who thinks that you know more about wrestling than Mike Knoxxx, do me a favor. Put down the hashtags and just go hashtag WWE guy. Just go hashtag the CEO. Hashtag blame it on Bob Johnson. But definitely put hashtag you don't know ish more than Mike Knoxxx when it comes to professional wrestling. You may know as much as me, but to know more than me, I doubt that. But for you, and I said it before, you and you, and yes, you too, wrestling is storyline. Wrestlers wrestle each other all the time, over and over and over. Axe Steamboat and Ric Flair. Axe Sting and Ric Flair. Axe Hulk Hogan and the Macho Man. Axe wrestler after wrestler after wrestler. How many times they wrestled said individual? I mean, that's, TNA fans out there saying something. Axe AJ Styles and Christopher Daniels. How many times they faced each other? So, again, that's what wrestlers do. They wrestle each other. So don't break up the Shield. There's no reason for that right now. They're only 14 months in to what historically can be one of the greatest factions of all time. But the writings on the wall, they're probably going to break them up and make who I thought would be the bigger of the stars, Roman Reigns, the face of the new company. That shall be renamed to be named Nader, I will, if you will, I digress. But also taking place on Raw, as after that happened, a great promo, because the Beast is back. Or is he back? Or who are we talking about? We say Beast. There's two Beasts on this program. Batista returns on January 20th. It has been known, if you have not caught up by now, that he has signed a 2-year deal with the WWE, the machine, if you will, so to speak. So they gave him a great opening promo package. And this is what caught me off guard with Raw. Brad Maddox decides to step up and grab a balls and act like he's a GM. So as Daniel Bryan walks into his office, he says, I want Bray Wyatt. He says, hey, if you want Bray Wyatt, you got to go through Roman Harper. You want Bray Wyatt, you got to go through Luke as well. So he says, okay. And then Stephanie McMahon and Triple H is there, and they say, we got two big announcements for you. So first, Stephanie McMahon comes out. Stephanie McMahon says, at the Royal Rumble, the main event will be. Now, people, before you go ahead and get your thongs, and yes, all you men out there that wear thongs that are not professional wrestlers, this bud's for you, okay? Get your thongs out of your arses, okay? Because if you thought for just one moment John Cena would not get a rematch for his titles, then guess what, people? You don't know professional wrestling. I've said it before, and I'm going to say it again. They are the two best in this company outside of Edge that they've had as far as the face of the company, Randy Orton and John Cena. Cena told you on SmackDown he had a rematch. So was anybody surprised by this? Wasn't it a very big announcement? To some, but not to most of intelligent wrestling fans. Shout out to the real Dwayne Allen. Shout out to Mr. Main Event, Brian Waters. Shout out to Spotface. Shout out to Chad Rivera. Shout out to all the intelligent wrestling fans that I'm just not remembering your name right now because, damn it, it's only a 10-minute video. But I digress. Also, as they come out, after that, you have the Royal Rumble main event between Cena and Randy Orton, which, again, I react and say to you, was to be expected. Damian Sandow comes out. He's backstage getting interviewed by Renee. And man, I just add, if anybody who doesn't think that Renee is hot don't know nothing about good-looking females. That's one nice-looking lady. But Damian Sandow, he comes out and he says, no, enough of this. I've been shucking and driving. I've been doing all these crazy matches. Everywhere I go, they make fun of me on Tribute to the Troops. They make fun of me at SummerSlam. I'm tired of all this. If I do not win this match tonight that the WWE Universe is going to vote on, then I quit. Wow, you think it's going to be The Miz, especially the WWE Universe is voting? It has to be The Miz. Maybe it's Kofi Kingston. When you look at the third member, you go, WWE, really? Really? Do you really think us, the people, are to believe that they voted for the Great Khali in this match? You gotta get somewhat realistic. If you want the guy to win the match because it's based on the storyline that wrestling is, then so what? Let the fans vote who they really voted for, because it wasn't a Great Khali, and then let that guy lose, if that's the way it's supposed to be. But if you're gonna have us vote, have the votes be real. Because right now, my son's voting on my phone, my son's voting on my iPad, and none of this stuff is real, because I know people did not vote for the Great Khali. But he takes on the Great Khali, he pins him so he still has a job. And then, the Intercontinental Champion, Big E Langston, takes on Fandango in the Intercontinental title match, which, by the way, I'm going to say this much. If you guys do not like Big E Langston, if you do not like Fandango, if you do not like the young talent that is in the WWE, then stop watching, because the talent is awesome right now. Great match by Big E Langston, and winner and still Intercontinental Champion Big E Langston, people. But then Triple H comes out. He says, I got a big announcement. I want you to get ready. I'm going to put my broken arm beside me. And I'm going to bring back out to you Brock Lesnar. And he comes out with Paul Heyman, people. And Brock begins to grab the microphone and do what Brock does. And that just says, listen here, WWE locker room, I do not have to participate in the Royal Rumble. Why do I have to put myself behind all these other men when, frankly, I tell you right now, the line starts here. Now, let's just put a quarter in the meter. Let's come back to Royal Rumble, or Brock Lesnar, if you will, and let's talk about the Royal Rumble. Did he just tell y'all that the Royal Rumble means nothing because he's not going to be in it? Okay, back to Brock Lesnar. But he says, I don't have to be in the Royal Rumble because I'm the #1 contender, and I dare any man, anybody in that locker room to come out here and tell me otherwise. Then all of a sudden, boom, cat, boom, cat, somebody gonna get the ass kicked. And guess who got the ass kicked? That's who. Mark Henry comes out and goes through the freaking barricade at the side of the ring. And listen, a strength that I can, listen, Brock Lesnar is a beast, people. That is a beast. That is one mastodon of a man. No broke back. He picks up Mark Henry, F5s him on the floor, and walks off like, yeah, you want some? Come get some. That's what Mark Henry's line used to be, but right now Mark Henry got some. He didn't get some. So, also, now, this is where it all comes down to, people. This is where it all climaxed at, people. You know, climax, some of y'all use your hand, others have a woman. But the climax came this way as Daniel Bryan goes through the gauntlet, people. He takes on Luke Harper, wins. He takes on the other guy, Roman, wins. Then they come out there and they beat him up, but that's okay. He gets beat up by Bray Wyatt, but this is the shocking part, people. Yes, yes, yes. No more. He grabs the microphone and says, you were right. The machine, no matter how much these people want to scream for me, which I just tried to argue that they cannot go unnoticed on Perfect Plex Talk Radio. J-Pop. Again, I'm going to join you. Can you believe it? Daniel Bryan, I mean, come on, people. Look at them. They all got long beards. Don't Daniel Bryan have a long beard? I mean, they kind of all looked alike, right? So now, Daniel Bryan is now Daniel Wyatt. He joins the Wyatt family, people. And the IWC goes nuts. Listen, shout out to Daniel Bryan, people. And I'm going to say this right here and right now, and I'm going to add him with the machine, which is the WWE. If you guys think for just one moment that they're not noticing what's going on, then you're crazy. Daniel Bryan, unfortunately, is not built looking like The Rock. He's not built looking like Randy Orton. He's not big and powerful like John Cena. Unfortunately, he's more of a Jericho guy. He's more of a, I hate saying his name out there, Chris Benoit guy. He's more of a CM Punk guy. That's the mode that he fits in. He's not the face of the company as far as what they look for in the face of the company. Yeah, can that be wrong? Yeah, it can be. And people have issued on the WWE for that. And I got to agree with that. That this guy is that hot. The fans love him. He's that good in the ring. He's good in the microphone. He's good at all that he does. Kind of like our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, but that's not what the company wants. However, he's still main eventing in a non-main event. You don't have to have the title to be main eventing. And I give him kudos, like I said, in the beginning of the program with CM Punk for working with young, fresh talent, getting people over, people. If you think Daniel Bryan's time's not going to come, you're fooling yourself. I'm going to tell you why. Let's look at 3 names that people thought would never be WWE champion. May he rest in peace, Eddie Guerrero. He's still there, Mr. 619 and Rey Mysterio Jr. Daniel Bryan's moment will come. But the question is, when? And if people say, oh, people are going to forget about Daniel Bryan because of this and because of that, then you don't get no professional wrestling. Fans just don't go away like that. When fans want something, typically fans get what they want, people. Listen, I am Mike Knoxxx. I want to say to you, Happy New Year. I want to say a shout out to my wife, to my children for just dealing with me during this year and what I do with this network, and to all my YouTube listeners, to all the fans of the BDSR network. Make sure you go ahead and follow me at Mike Knoxxx on Twitter, Instagram, wherever there is a social network. You can follow me there, or it's best known as to say this much to you. Google me, people. Happy New Year's. Be safe. Enjoy the year. We see you in 2014 with a bigger, better year here on the BDSR networks. Again, I'm Mike Knoxxx. Be safe. Peace.
Mike Knoxxx. That's their show on the radio. You don't like it?